Oh, hello! How are you? If you don't know, or if you stumbled upon this video by accident, I'm really happy that you're here and that you're watching this. My name is Carly Jardine, and I'm currently a student at Lakehead University in their Bachelor of Education program. So, why am I creating this video and blabbering about who I am? Well, on my blog, I've posted about self-care, why we should be practicing it, what are the benefits to students, and I've actually even developed some lessons and units based on self-care that you could implement in a classroom. So, and the purpose is to educate students on their own well-being. However, developing these lessons in these units was not enough for me. I was hungry for knowledge, so to speak, and I wanted to further my research on mindfulness, self-care, and an individual's personal well-being. So this led me to develop a research question, and I really did begin my search to look into what mindfulness is. So the research question that has brought me here today in my living room on this couch, sitting talking to you is, what does self-care look like in the learning environment? So, what does it look like? Well, we're going to get to that, but first, let's talk about what mindfulness is. Mindfulness is the practice of being aware of one's own body and emotions. There are many forms, and one of the most common is meditation. For example, I want you, the person watching this, my viewers, to close your eyes. Please, come on, close them. Now, take time to notice your body, your muscles. Are you tense? Relax. Relax your muscles. Let all the tension go. Let everything that you've been carrying with yourself today go. Free it from your body. Let all that stress leave. Now drop your shoulders. Let your thoughts leave. Be present. Be present in this moment. Something I personally do is look for a tingling. I feel like electricity in my toes. I let it start there. Move up my legs. Move into my thighs. Up my torso. I let it go out my fingers and out my head and through. Feel that electricity go through your body. Take a deep breath. Breathe in and out. Relax. Let all that tension leave. Just be in your moment. Let those crazy thoughts that you've been carrying with yourself all day, let them go. Now open your eyes. Mindfulness is something I believe personally is innate, that people just need to take time to be present and recognize their body and emotions. It can be something as easy as what we just did, or more intense, like a guided meditation. It's up to you as an individual. Take note of how you felt. What were you thinking? What did you gain from that moment? From me talking to you and you being present, recognizing your body and your muscles. Mindfulness can come in many different forms. For educators like yourself, there are personal development opportunities and various intervention programs. So what? Why should a person practice mindfulness, or heck, even self-care? Well, that is a great question, and I'm going to try my best to answer it. However, you should know that I cannot answer this for you, and there is no real definite answer. Adapting mindfulness and self-care into your daily life helps people reduce life stress and feel better overall. It helps increase positivity in a person's life. This can be physically, emotionally, and/or cognitively. It depends on the person and how they choose to practice. For educators, mindfulness has been proven to help decrease stress and lower a person's chance of burning out. Furthermore, educators who have participated in mindfulness interventions and professional development workshops have more effective classroom management strategies and are more prepared to deal with those difficult behaviors. Wouldn't it be nice to have full control over your class all the time and not have to worry about that student? Well, mindfulness can help you be more prepared. For students, this means that educators are generally more attentive to their needs and helps create that positive learning environment for everyone. It's important for educators to model and practice taking care of themselves, or, for lack of better words, healthy well-being. Students who are taught various self-care strategies and mindfulness techniques experience less stress, better academic success, and more importantly, are more likely to live a healthy life. And isn't that what we want for our students? So, what does this mean for you? As an educator, this means you should not be afraid to express yourself and give time for your own well-being. Let your students see the strategies you use to support yourself. Recognize and ask your students how they are feeling and help develop supports for them. If you look here, this is something I would do for my class. I would develop my own personal toolboxes for my students. So, little tips and tricks to help them practice mindfulness and self-care and those self-regulation skills. So, this is obviously a big bag. I would probably do like a mini toolbox, those little cute tackle boxes, or even baskets, depending on your classroom space. If you don't have space to keep little activities, I would get those binder rings and then put little cue cards so that students can flip through and it'll have different techniques that they can use. So, what do I have in my toolbox? First, I'm going to pull out this. So, this is a book I got, and what I do to calm down, it started as an art project, and I doodle, I color, I let out all my thoughts and feelings, whether it's paint, drawing, gosh, I probably have some embarrassing little, prints, just everything. I found it really helpful for me just to let go, to get a pencil, get a crayon, paint, whatever was around, and just release everything. Students, you could give them the opportunity to grab their doodle books and just color for a minute or two. If they're off task, they're having a rough day, give them time to just express themselves in that way. Alright, I am an avid reader. I love a good book. This one is A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. So this is great to have students, give them an opportunity to read, to just divulge a book, express themselves, and I find that I can get lost in books, and I just love a good story, and it just helps me forget about what I'm going through and kind of live in a fantasy world. Cards. So the cards are to represent games and just, interacting with people, collaborating. I really like solitaire. So when I see this, I think of all that fun and that competitiveness if you play double solitaire. So give students something like a little game that they can take a minute or two to get a friend or even play by themselves. That's always a great technique. And who doesn't love to play a game? Tea. Pour yourself a cup of tea. Have hot chocolate. Even something as simple as having a cup of tea is a self-care technique. It lets you have that warm, fuzzy feeling and just take a step back, calm down, and for me, makes me feel better and ready for my day. If I don't have a coffee in the morning, do not want to see that. So it's a simple thing that most of you probably do and you're not even thinking about it as self-care. So some people, they're not into painting, they're not into coloring, but plasticine, modeling clay, something that gets them, feeling that texture, just playing around, movement. This is a great thing that I got $1 $2, and I could probably give a little piece to 5 or 6 students, and they would have fun. They could build, destroy, and keep going. Sensory items are another great tool for students. Having a little ball, a fidget ring. I personally love fidget rings. I'm always fidgeting anyways. Just something when they're getting stressed and they just need that moment to collect themselves. Give them something that they can feel in their hands and just get back into that learning environment, that learning mind frame. I had a student who was really stressed over a math activity, was in tears, and I gave him a little ball, one of the ones with the air that you squeeze. And I said, here, take this, go to your desk, just squeeze it for a minute, take some deep breaths. And you know what? Within 5 minutes, he was ready back to learn, and he was actually able to solve that math problem that he was struggling with. It was great. It was a proud teaching moment. Writing. Some students have a hard time communicating and talking to you, and the oral communication is just not there. Some have never been taught how to talk about their feelings, or they don't know how, they're shy, insecure. The list goes on and on. So give them something that they can write, that they can sit. You could do mindful minutes. Give students a minute just to write down everything they're thinking, they're feeling. Again, another example, I had a student who was really struggling with some of their peers, and we told the student to just write a letter to us to explain how they were feeling. They were confused at first, but 2 minutes later they came back with this letter expressing their frustration, their anger, and they even ended up coming up with an own solution to their problem. They just needed that moment to sit back, collect their thoughts, and write. And who doesn't want their students writing? Great, great technique. All right, my cell phone. Why would I have a cell phone in here? Well, one of the great things that cell phones are providing, so iTunes, Android Box, or Google Play, all of those, is meditation apps. So you don't know how to meditate, you don't really know what you're doing, or you just need the guidance and the steps to go through. Mindfulness apps. There's a ton of different apps you can use. I'm not going to tell you which one to use. I want you to go out, try them for yourselves, because everyone's different. So what works for me might not work for you. But another great thing that you can use for yourself or your students. Shoes. All right. So I love going to the gym. I work at a gym. I love it there. I love my friends. It's like my own little family. But sometimes students, they need to be active too. Giving them those movement breaks, times to do crab walks, bear crawls, to just move around, go to the washroom to collect themselves. Just give them that chance to move. Not everyone wants to sit there. Think of you. Do you like sitting and just listening to someone, kind of like what I'm doing right now? No, you've probably already dozed off. You're probably up around your room, walking around, doing some stretches. So why would you think your students can sit there all day? They can't. So give them those opportunities to move, walk around, stretch, yoga. DPA is another great way. Let students burn off that energy for 20 minutes, then come back ready to work and be present. Dun, 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 the recorder. I'm sure you've all either played the recorder or had to listen to students playing it, but music is another great outlet. Put on some calming music for your students, or give them the chance if they need to just refocus to listen to a song. Put it on an iPad, on a laptop. Music can be a great outlet for some people. If there's an instrument that's not as, loud and obnoxious as the recorder, give them a chance to just play it. They could just be themselves, express how they're feeling. So obviously, these are things that I do and work for me. They may not work for you, they may not work in your classroom, but the beauty of self-care is that it's different for everyone, and you can figure out what works for you in your class. So these are just some ideas, some things that I've done, but go out there. I really encourage you to take some of the ideas and go out and practice self-care and find out what works for you and your students. The thing that I think is the best about self-care is you can just ask. Ask somebody. They're feeling stressed, they're having a bad day. Go up and say, hey, I know you've said this or I've noticed this. What can I do to help you? Students love to talk. Everybody loves to talk about themselves and loves to help themselves. So help people find those tools and give them that opportunity. Another great one is advocating for your students. So breakfast programs, snack bins, get those in your schools. Allow students that opportunity to be nourished and be present. I had one of my educator friends, they did this amazing thing that I'm hoping to implement, is they allowed their students to eat during the day, as long as it wasn't during their lesson. The rule was it had to be a healthy snack, so fruits, veggies, but they were sitting there, they would be doing their work, and they would be eating those healthy foods. They were developing great, honestly, great skills that they're going to help them later in life. Healthy eating is something that, as much as we try to practice, it can be difficult. So giving students those ways of, it's okay to eat in class. Just make sure it's healthy. Make sure you're helping yourself. That was one that, it was so simple, but that could help you so much in your life. And I know this is a lot to take in and to remember. So the most important thing is that you are not alone. there are lots of supports for educators and resources that can help you develop your own toolbox for yourself and your students. You have me here who just made this video and gave you some techniques, but there's also curriculum that can help you. Edutopia has skills for teachers and students, and the Mind Up curriculum. If you haven't heard about this, I would really recommend you getting it. I actually have the books beside me. It's a great resource for educators. If you don't know what it is a framework based off of 5 competencies. So it's called social and emotional learning, and it gives you little tools that you can use in your practices. So what it's based off is self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making. So the purpose is to promote a happy and mindful brain, to improve student control and help generate self-regulation, to develop positive social skills like empathy, compassion, and passion. Who doesn't want your students having that in your classroom? Here, I'll give you a quick little example. So this is the grade 6 to 8, and one of the activities is journal writing. So it's focusing on conflict, and it's having your students rethink about their last disagreement. Take part of the other person. Write yourself a letter from that other person's perspective. Wow, such an easy and quick idea, and it would take you as an educator no time, but would be so good for your students. So, I know that this has been a lot to take in, and I'm so happy that you were able to stay with me and follow me. So now it's my turn to practice what I preach, and I'm going to go take some time for myself, finish my scarf, and go get a good night's sleep. So thank you so much. If you have any questions for me, feel free to comment on my blog, comment on this video. Let me know what you think. I will reply back, and I would love to hear from you. So thank you so much again. I really hope that together we can create a better learning environment for our students where they can be themselves, feel safe, and be accepted. Also, more importantly, take time to take care of yourself, because how can you take care of your students if you're not taking care of yourself? So I want you to take this opportunity to do something for you. All right, thank you so much. I hope I get to hear from you, and bye.